What's up? It's been a while, like 2 weeks to be exact, maybe like 2 weeks and a day. So, fun fact, I'm in my basement and it's a mess. You can see the truck over there. It's been super duper cold, but I have a WR250 video, just how to put the gas tank back on because I've upgraded the size from a 2 gallon to a 3 gallon, and it's very easy, very, very easy. Here's the old one and some gas. So this comes in a kit. All of the stuff you need comes with it. This came off the other tank. But so this one, I just used an impact screwdriver, which is over there. You know, you like put it in, you twist it, and then you hammer it, and it forces it out. These are from the old tank. All the hardware's up here. So these just buckle right on, and I did, future reference for anyone doing a WR250 tank, I did bend this little tab because it just wouldn't, there wasn't enough clearance to even get like a flathead screwdriver under there. So I put it in a vise, I bent it one way, and then I bent it back the other way, so it makes this sort of like dog leg shape. The other one is good to go. There's a little gap behind here. And then what I was going to show you is on the bottom. Don't be freaked out. There's only one way this goes on. And this clip, this orange clip, is very difficult to get off, and that electronic connection is very easy to get off. Only a little tiny bit of gas comes out. I did this with a full tank of gas in the original gas tank. But very, very easy to do. So I'll kind of like outline the steps right now. Here we go. And I'm going to outline the steps as it's going installed, getting reinstalled, or the new tank is being installed for the first time. So here we go. Step one is just attach this hardware after you make this bend. These are the tabs that the fairings attach to. Step two is remove this from the old tank and put it on. You want to be careful that you don't over tighten in these brass fittings that are in this plastic, because you can pull them out. I put this on in the process of all of this so that nothing gets into the tank to damage the pump or clog it up. Step three would be to put on this metal bracket that goes around. There's an O-ring that comes with this IMS kit. So you'll put that on, then you'll snatch it, or you'll screw it in. Now be mindful that this actually only goes on one way. You want the fuel line out, which is this little white piece here that the orange is connected to be pointing forward and to the right. So it's going to be forward and to the right a little bit. That's how it goes in. Say hi. Hi. And then you're going to remake your connections. This clip actually pulls out towards the camera, and then there's two little blue buttons that go in there for reattaching it. That clip just goes on one way, the black one there. Now I'm going to put it back in. Make sure there was no pinches in the gas line, which there isn't. And everything should line up perfectly, right? But what I forgot to tell you is make sure that these clips, they kind of go in and down and then attach to the back side. Here, I'll show you. See, they go in and down, like towards the frame. That's how they fit on both sides. So that would be step 4, is to put those on before you make the fuel line connections. Wow, all over the place. And now we're just going to start putting the plastic back on. These two little guys with the orange Loctite go on the bottom, and you can see the little Loctite thread locker in there, whatever it is. I don't know if it's actually Loctite, but we'll put those in. And I'm only going to do the old Guten tight, so it'll be like hand tight plus a little more, because I don't want to strip anything. It's very cold and I don't want to break anything.
Dad, what's all that stuff up there?
It's all Mommy's gardening stuff.
Wow.
Oh, this thing is too small. She keeps it. Here we go.
We need to grow a garden.
Put these in. They should start to bite, which that one has. So this isn't very much pressure going into these things. I'm not going to tighten them down until I have the top in all the way either. So there's the back.
Can't lift it up, Daddy.
On mine, the front bolt had a blue Loctite on it. You can kind of see it. You can definitely see it up here. Blue in there. Blue in there. And this one was kind of a pain to get out. It felt like I was going to break it at any second. So just go easy when you're taking it out and when you're putting it back in. You obviously don't want to cross thread because this is your frame. Bad news if you cross thread that crap. All right, that one's in. You know, nice and snug, and then a little bit of maybe like 1/8 of a turn afterwards. And now we're gonna do this. So that's snug, and I'm gonna do it, well, that's snug. I'm gonna do a little bit of turn afterwards. It may not move because this thing is gonna, this Allen wrench is gonna flex, but so it's still easy, nice and snug, little bit of a turn. Just enough. You don't wanna break it. This is also part of your frame. It's welded on, see? Don't do that. Time for some plastic. The right side has these little barrel spacers on there. Also, this sits at a different angle than it does originally, so be careful. Don't strip out the brass fitting in there. Don't do it. Other fun fact, the blue plastic goes behind the black plastic. So it'll be screw with the barrel, black plastic, blue plastic, and then the back of the radiator is where the thread is. So coming out towards the camera, radiator, blue plastic, black plastic, washer, screw. Done. Don't over tighten it. All right, the left side. Mine didn't have washers. So, but remember, you have to clip the top and bottom mounts. Sorry, the furnace is on. These things have like a little lip on them, and you want the eye of the blue plastic to go over them. That's a great picture right there. Very easy to do. I would start with, honestly, I would start with the clip that's behind here. Remember the one that you slide into? And then I would put the front on and then clip the back on. I have a little bit of a rerouting issue I gotta solve, but we'll take care of that in a little bit. Just a little tip, don't tighten this one all the way until you tighten that, just like I said on the gas tank, and you'll be all set. So you can get this one in or this one in first, just nice and loose, as long as you know it's threaded, and then you can jump up to the other, what other one you haven't done yet. All right, well that's where I'm gonna stop because I have an air filter coming and I gotta do an oil change, and I don't wanna get all the way back to full get up before that all happens. So FedEx is dropping that off for me later, and then I'll take care. But yeah, so that's the very abbreviated version of putting the 3-gallon IMS gas tank on your WR250. Very easy to do, very quick. It only takes about, you know, if you're not stupid like me and fill up on gas right before you get your gas tank in, you'll be all set. But the gas tank takes a total of, like, honestly, once you're stripped down and you have the old tank getting ready to come off, it takes about, I don't know, 30 minutes to really switch the tank over all the hardware and everything. It's very, very easy. I've never done this before. I've put in, removed gas tanks off other bikes and put gas tanks on, but doing it on this bike, I have not. So very easy. I'd be surprised if it takes a brand new, not mechanically inclined person more than an hour. I mean, but take your time. There's no race. It's your bike. Don't screw it up. So thanks for watching. Very short video. I hope. I think it's gonna be under 10 minutes. Oof. But yeah, and then I'll tell you all the stuff that has happened to my bike over the last basically like 2 weeks of Christmas and whatnot. So thanks. Have a good day. All right. So the gas tank install is done, and I think it looks pretty good. We'll show you better, but and I'll give you a little tour of what I've done to the bike so far, which isn't much. It's really just minor things. So here we go. It's a 2020 WR250, and it's 250R. Sorry, it's probably the best bike I've owned, but it's not my most favorite, believe it or not. It is very, very good, but it is not my favorite bike I've ever owned. So some things that I've done. We'll start from the top, let's say. We'll start from the top. So on the top, what have I done? I've done a GPS mount. That's literally it. And this GPS mount is for my Garmin Zumo XT. Sorry for the contrast here. And the way I ran it is this little mount is just a ram mount that I have screwed onto the handlebars. The wire goes in behind the headlight, and there's like a bundle of Garmin stuff, which you can't really see, but this little red piece, I can't get it to focus on there. You can kind of see like little red wire in there. That is the Garmin wiring. And then that is connected on this side of the frame with some spades down to the SAE, which comes down here. And it was tucked up in behind that fender, but now I can't do that, right? Because now I'm a little bit wider and a little bit taller for the gas tank. Other than that, on my top piece, I have these grips were already on it when I bought it. It had 30 miles on it when I bought it, so it's basically brand new. I've put this little throttle like palm rest thing on it. I recommend these all day long, every single day of the week, especially in cold weather. But you want to practice in warm weather because this can get you killed. Basically, this piece I turn way up so that I can just rest my hand on it and it'll twist the throttle, hold the throttle open, just me relaxing. This one thankfully isn't like super snug, so it does rotate a little bit, but that's that. Allows me to cruise a little bit on the highway or the back roads, whatever it is. The other thing that was already done were these inside plastic guards. All I've done with those is try to widen them out a little bit, and then my blinkers are off a little bit. Then I put these big moose winter like mud roost guards. I don't really mind them. I don't think they're bad, but they do help a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean, down to about 30 degrees. Anything under 30 degrees, unless you're going about 40 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, these will do nothing for you. It creates a little vacuum and pulls the wind into the back of your gauntlet, or the air and the water will cover you no matter what. Because I mean, you got to think about it. That's where you're sitting. So it only does so much, and it's about down to where your wrist starts. But it does do a little bit, so I did go with that. Coming down a little further, I have a little tugger strap, and I bought this because, not that I'm doing super crazy stuff where I'm going to be pulling the bike up steep hills or whatever, but because I didn't have it when I needed it. I was alone, and I couldn't pick the bike up and over this little pinch that was catching on the foot pegs and whatnot. And I really wanted this for leverage, because trying to grab like the clamp doesn't really work. Then I went with this little fender pack. It's from Tusk. So far I really like it, minus these straps are just like bebopping around. Sorry. Really like it. These straps just kind of like flop in the wind. This one doesn't for whatever reason, but this one does. And I got some tire irons and a front tube in there. I might throw some like a valve core remover on that. Come to the back, same thing, a tugger rear strap, because it's just something that you do need, especially when you start getting into harder stuff or stuck in mud or whatever. The other thing that I've done, starting with the bags, is I bought a very lightweight, this is basically like a day pack on either side. And they're really good. They're by Tusk. They're waterproof. They hold a ton of stuff. Like I can put a coffee thermos, tip to tail, it fits in there perfectly, and have a little bit extra room in there for like a cup to go over the lid of it, So, and it's just like a Stanley thermos. It has a little outside pack, and I have a little hand pump. Here it is, sorry. Has a little outside mini pack, and I have a hand pump that'll do 100 PSI for if I, lose pressure, or I got a slow leak, or I got a patch, whatever the case is. I've never had to do that on the trail, but I hope that I never have to do that either. So, and I never used to carry a pump. I used to rely on other people with their little electronic ones. obviously I just did this gas tank. This is a 3-gallon IMS gas tank, see-through. It was cheaper than black, and I don't really care about it being see-through. And quite honestly, like, here's my fuel level. Now I know how much is in there. You know, it's about 1.5 gallons. Oh, also with the bags, they're just like tied on, you can see down here, and then strapped on over here and up here on the tail. I had to cut this little section of the tail because this side of the subframe is higher than this side. It actually runs lower, and you can see the helmet lock down here. And I also got the 10-liter top bag for this that mounts, it'll mount to these and these, right? And I haven't used it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be great. I'll be using it more as the day goes on. The only other thing I've done is I've bumped up the preload a little bit because the previous owner in the 30 miles decided that they wanted to put this lowering link on it. And it's really annoying, but it's not worth the money to switch it back out or time, because I can just, you know, bump the preload up and get back to where I was anyway. I also put this Flatland skid plate. That's the last thing that I've done. But the Flatlander skid plate is really easy, 4 bolts. My 3-year-old, now 4-year-old at the time, has done it by himself, and all I did was help hold the plate up. But it's really, really easy to put on, and it looks great. And then I can't forget about the Tusk, fork seal sleeves, whatever you want to call them. Those are a pain to put on because you have to take the whole fork out of the clamp, and it's just annoying, but you know what? It'll be worth it, and you don't have to worry about a zipper failing on you. So you slide these over the whole top of the fork, and you're good to go. Just have a homie help you with it, and you'd be all set. So other than that, I haven't done anything to this thing. I do use it for what it's built for. I go off-road, on-road all season. I've ridden in some crazy crap with this bike and other bikes that I've had before, but -1 for 2 hours, -1 Fahrenheit for 2 hours I've ridden. And it was miserable, but I've done it, and I did it for my wife because I didn't want to take my car, and I'm an idiot. So in Maine, in the middle of, or the beginning of January, -1 for 2 hours to go up and get donuts of all things. But yeah, so thanks for watching. This is going to be kind of a long video, but there it is. WR250 with a new tank on it. I'm really excited. And I put a little screw in here because I don't have a top yet for the bleeder, like the pressure release. But I'm sure that'll be fine for now. So thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long. It's been brutally cold up here, and snowy, and 2 kids, and I don't know why. I've lost like motivation to do stuff. Me and my son have been painting some like Warhammer stuff for him, and I've been in a weird funk. It's like I'm not depressed, but I'm just like, ooh, it's cold outside and I just want to pout about it. So hopefully we'll get some more videos coming for you guys soon. Thanks for watching.